Update. When I 34th told boyfriend 36 I frequently feel judged/scrutinized by him, he told me there are millions of things he doesn't say. Do I need to change my perspective, or are we incompatible? Original post //word. reddit.com/relationships/comments/quote88/ when a 34th told boyfriend 36 I frequently feel /Transcript me do me support namiosum first. Thank you to everyone who responded to my original post. I remember exactly how confused and mentally exhausted I was at that point. Reading the responses and having my feelings validated by a bunch of internet strangers gave me the confidence to know I wasn't being too sensitive there. It also got me out of a constant state of rumination about what was happening to me and why I felt so off and not myself, and led me to act. I told him I wanted space and that if we were both trying our best and our relationship felt like this, we had a huge problem. I also told him that at some point he had stopped treating me like his girlfriend and started treating me like a defective human being, and I was over it and wouldn't continue to invest my time and energy into someone who treated me this way. Those first few days I spent alone were like an vacation. I couldn't believe how amazing it felt to do simple, everyday things without his constant interference and judgment. At the same time, I did start to notice some of the things I was blaming him for being critical of me were really areas I was insecure and being critical of myself. I spent more time over the next few months investing in myself and improving certain areas of my life. Our relationship seemed to improve slightly over the next few months. The micromanaging and criticism really improved, or I thought they improved. He might have just changed tactics. I think he started triangulating and upping the ante with the innocent insults. I think I'd also gotten better at dealing with it and probably lowered the bar even more. In the fall, I had my first ever sciatica flare-up. It was agonizing pain almost constantly. It lasted 8 weeks, and I was trying everything: physical therapy, anti-inflammatories, biofreeze, ice, not moving, powering through the pain. He was over it all after a few weeks and starting treating me like I was a lazy slob. I felt so scared and helpless about how much pain I was in and if it was ever going to get better, or would I need surgery. The added stress of still trying to be a good partner was horrible. I'm not sure why this instance of his selfishness had more impact, but I felt something change inside of me in a profound way. Of course, when I tried to talk to him about it, it went very poorly. The argument ended when he mocked me for crying and asked me why I could talk to him like a normal person. I can't remember when it started, but I began to have physical responses during any kind of conflict, with sort of like fight or flight. Maybe. My hands start shaking. I start feeling overwhelmed and confused. My stomach is flipping. And eventually the tears come. This comment from my original post rings true. It seriously sounds like a low-key gateway to emotional abuse. I can't imagine his only starts and stops at just hacking away at Op's self-worth and then gaslighting her about what is happening. There were so many instances during our relationship where I felt he lied to me. There were constant interactions where my instincts told me he was being inauthentic, or he was hiding something, or not giving me all the details. The addictions. The attention he gave women on social media, always needing someone to blame. An almost embarrassing inability to take accountability. I still feel pretty conflicted about what I did. I went through his phone. I started by looking for a couple specific times in the beginning of our relationship where my mind had flagged something as off or a lie, but I had no idea why. Like when he insisted we go drop a bottle of champagne off to a friend of his as a congratulations for getting a new job. At the time, I couldn't place what felt off about this. I looked at texts from this specific date, and now I know that we were really there to deliver cocaine. When I'm able to confirm what my instincts told me were lies, it was off to the races. It was all pretty bad. He was on Tinder for the first 6 months we were together, Bumble for 9, and Plenty of Fish 11. All texts with other women deleted. Secret drug use. It's hard to even remember everything, but I tried to just confirm what I felt to be lies. There's definitely a ton of anger and sadness, but more than anything else, I felt relief. Everything my instincts have been telling me since the beginning have been accurate. and I've been fighting a losing battle against them. It felt freeing. Why have I continued this relationship, in spite my instincts for 2.5 years and endless stress and chores? My hair has been thinning since the 3-month mark in our relationship. I've had brain fog and memory problems despite being known for my own trap memory, sleeping issues, weight fluctuation. My body has been physically rejecting this relationship. Somehow I either couldn't admit that it was him or I was really that out of it. I'm starting to try and unwind it all in therapy. I have had 3 sessions so far and am scheduled weekly for the foreseeable future. What I learned so far is I was taught to not trust my feelings as a child by my dad, who's very likely a narcissist. I'm really excited to work on my toxic patterns and behaviors in therapy and make the relationship I have with myself better and my priority. We have been living in separate bedrooms for a couple of weeks. The initial confrontation was horrible, and I hurled some really rough insults and names at him. A few weeks ago I was thinking that I would have a final discussion about why we were breaking up and the logistics of him moving out, etc. It still almost felt like I was going to have to convince him that this was a good enough reason to break up. After a deadline for work is over in the next couple of days, I'm going to tell him the relationship is over because I want it to be. And I do. I'm going to offer to pay for movers so I have an exact date. He will be gone. I am nervous about his reaction and scared of what he might say to hurt me, but I've never been more certain I'm making the right decision, so I know I'll be able to handle whatever happens. Again, thank you endlessly to anyone who took the time to comment on my original post or reached out. I felt seen and heard that day in a way that woke me up and nudged me to really start paying attention and stopped turning everything inward. Too long. Don't read I wasn't being too sensitive. We are incompatible. He was not only making my life a living hell with all the criticism, gaslighting and passive-aggressive jabs, he was also a liar and a cheater. Coming to terms with all of it and working on myself in therapy. One more thing. In my original post I played dumb about what he was insinuating when commenting about the shorts with the wet waistband. I was so paranoid at that time, I wanted to see if other people came to the same conclusion that I had. When I read my post, it stuck out to me as sad. I think you should have someone you trust present when you tell him it is over. My best friend's husband snapped one night and brutally murdered her and her unborn child. We don't know why, but I think she told him she was done as he was abusive. Do not be alone with this man when you break up with him. Also, have a locksmith nearby to change the locks immediately after he is gone. Do be with you. I remember your original post. I'm so glad you resolved to get away from this man and begin to heal. I would be very cautious going forward. He has already shown you he is willing to lie, gaslight and manipulate you, and abusers are most dangerous when they think they're losing their control. Tell some friends what is going on so you'll back up if necessary. Think about storing your most important documents and possessions elsewhere until he's gone. Get a lock for your door that only you have the key to. Don't spend time alone with